Whether it's a disagreement with a coworker, a misunderstanding with a friend, or a conflict within your family, we all face challenges in our relationships. But what if I told you that the ancient Stoic philosophers have left us with powerful tools to navigate these situations gracefully and effectively? In today's video, we'll explore Stoic techniques that can help you resolve conflicts, communicate better, and build stronger relationships. But before we dive in, I'd love to know, have you ever used Stoic principles to solve a problem with someone? Hit the subscribe button on the top right corner for a daily fix of life-changing Stoic lessons. Number 1. Embrace the power of perspective. The first of the technique is to embrace the power of perspective. It's all too easy to get caught up in our own viewpoint, forgetting that there are countless other ways to perceive a situation. Here's how you can use perspective to your advantage. Step outside of yourself. Imagine you're a third-party observer. This distance can provide a clearer view of the situation. Consider the other person's point of view. What might they be thinking or feeling? Understanding where they're coming from can be a game changer in resolving conflicts. Entertain different scenarios. What if you responded differently? What if the other person had a bad day? Playing with these what-ifs can bring surprising insights. Remember, conflicts often arise from differing perspectives. By broadening your viewpoint, you could find unexpected solutions and foster better relationships. This is how perspective becomes a powerful tool in your Stoic toolkit. So, who's ready to try on a fresh, new perspective? Number 2. Use the technique of postponement. As we venture further into our exploration, it's time we discuss the technique of postponement. Contrary to what you might assume, this isn't about procrastination or avoiding confrontation. It's about giving yourself the space and time to respond rather than react. Let's break down how you can effectively use the technique of postponement. Pause and reflect. When you find yourself in a conflict, instead of immediately reacting, take a moment to pause. Use this time to gather your thoughts and assess the situation objectively. Consider the consequences. What will happen if you respond right now? Will it escalate the situation? Could it potentially harm your relationship with the person involved? Evaluating the potential consequences can help you make more informed decisions. Respond thoughtfully. After you've given yourself time to think, formulate a thoughtful response. By postponing your initial reaction, you're more likely to respond in a way that is constructive and beneficial. The technique of postponement, when used appropriately, can be a powerful strategy in conflict resolution. It encourages thoughtful responses and prevents heated, impulsive reactions that can often exacerbate conflicts. So, next time you find yourself in a sticky situation, why not give this Stoic technique a shot? Let us move on to the disengagement technique. Number 3. Implement the strategy of disengagement. Moving along our journey, let's delve into the strategy of disengagement. This isn't about running away from the problem. It's about taking a step back to reassess and regroup. Here's how you can put this strategy into action. Recognize the situation. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we find ourselves caught in a conflict that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. When you notice this, it's time to disengage. Take a step back. Disengagement doesn't mean you're abandoning the issue. It simply means you're stepping back for a moment to let the dust settle. It's about giving both you and the other person some breathing space. Reevaluate the problem. Use this time to reevaluate the situation. Reflect on your approach so far. What's working and what isn't? What can you change about your approach to resolve the conflict? Re-enter with a fresh perspective. Once you've taken the time to reassess, re-enter the conversation with a fresh perspective and renewed energy. By applying the strategy of disengagement, you're not only giving yourself a chance to regain your composure, but also providing an opportunity for the other person to do the same. It's a technique that promotes understanding and resolution. So why not give it a try next time you're in a deadlock? In our next segment, we talk about honesty and its implications. Number 4. Traversing the path of honesty. Honesty is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a powerful tool for solving problems with people. Embracing honesty means more than just telling the truth. It involves being transparent, authentic, and consistent in our interactions. The Stoics believed that living in accordance with nature meant aligning our actions with our true selves, and honesty is essential in this pursuit. When we face conflicts or misunderstandings, honesty helps to clear the air and build trust. By expressing our thoughts and feelings openly, we create a foundation for genuine communication. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, advised, "Say what you mean and mean what you say." This principle encourages us to communicate with clarity and integrity, avoiding deceit and manipulation. Honesty also involves being truthful with ourselves. Self-deception can lead to distorted perceptions of reality, which in turn can cause conflicts with others. By practicing self-reflection and acknowledging our own faults and limitations, we can approach situations with a balanced and honest mindset. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of inner truth, noting that a person should look within. Within is the fountain of good. Moreover, honesty fosters respect in our relationships. When others see that we are sincere and straightforward, they are more likely to respond in kind, creating a cycle of mutual respect and understanding. This openness can diffuse tensions and pave the way for constructive dialogue. Incorporating honesty into our interactions requires courage and mindfulness. It may be challenging at times, especially when the truth is uncomfortable, but the long-term benefits for our relationships and personal growth are immeasurable. By embracing honesty, we adhere to Stoic values and create a more harmonious and authentic life. Number 5. Do not take things personally. One of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy is the practice of not taking things personally. This principle is crucial for maintaining inner peace and effectively resolving conflicts with others. When we take things personally, we often react emotionally and irrationally, which can escalate the situation and damage our relationships. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of those events. By choosing not to take others' actions or words personally, we can maintain control over our emotions and respond more thoughtfully. For example, imagine you receive harsh criticism from a colleague about a project you worked on. Your initial reaction might be to feel hurt or defensive. However, by applying the Stoic principle of not taking things personally, you can step back and assess the situation more objectively. Consider that the criticism might be more about the project itself and not a reflection of your worth or abilities. Your colleague might be stressed or have different expectations. Instead of reacting defensively, you could thank your colleague for their feedback and ask for specific suggestions on how to improve. This approach not only helps you grow, but also demonstrates your maturity and professionalism, potentially turning a negative situation into a positive learning experience. By avoiding the trap of taking things personally, we can diffuse tensions, build stronger relationships, and cultivate a more resilient mindset. This Stoic practice allows us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and reactions, and not be unduly affected by others' behavior. Number 6. Seek third-party mediation when necessary. Let's face it, sometimes tensions run high and emotions can cloud judgment. In such cases, it's time to use third-party mediation. Think of a mediator like a referee in a football match. They don't actually play the game, but they make sure the game is played fairly. A mediator won't necessarily solve the problem for you, but they can help to create a conducive environment for resolution. Wondering you might need a mediator? Often the presence of an unbiased party can help diffuse tension, ensuring everyone's perspective is heard. This can be especially helpful if the conflict has become too personal, or if previous attempts at resolution haven't been successful. Choosing the right mediator is key. This could be a trusted mutual friend, a supervisor, or even a professional mediator, depending on the nature of your conflict. The crucial thing is that this person should be impartial and committed to helping all parties reach a resolution. Remember, seeking help doesn't mean you've failed. It's about recognizing when you've hit a wall and need a fresh perspective. This isn't a sign of weakness, but of wisdom and maturity. Embracing third-party mediation can be a game changer, making challenging situations more manageable. So the next time you find yourself in a deadlock, give mediation a thought. It might just be the key that unlocks the door to resolution. Next up on our list is perseverance. Number 7. Practice patience and perseverance. Continuing with our guide, let's talk about your two best allies in this journey, patience and perseverance. Let's be honest, conflict resolution isn't a sprint. It's more like a marathon. The process can be long and winding, and it's natural to want to reach a resolution quickly. But rushing things can lead to half-baked solutions that might not stand the test of time. That's where patience comes in. Learning to be patient means resisting the urge to rush. It's about giving the other person space to express themselves and taking the time to understand their perspective. You might not resolve the conflict in one day, but every step you take brings you closer to resolution. But what happens when you hit a roadblock? That's where perseverance enters the picture. When conflict resolution gets tough, and it often does, perseverance is what keeps you going. It's about staying committed to the process even when progress seems slow. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Similarly, resolving conflicts and problems takes time. But with patience and perseverance, you'll be able to navigate through even the stickiest of situations. With these two elements in your toolkit, you're well on your way to becoming a master of conflict resolution. Next up, let us deduce the concept of reflection and introspection. Number 8. Reflect and learn from the experience. Rounding off our exploration of the techniques for solving problems and conflicts with people, let's turn our attention to the final, yet crucial step: reflection and learning. Your journey doesn't stop at reaching the resolution. In fact, it's just getting started. The conflict may be resolved, but the learning? That's an ongoing process. Ask yourself, what went well during the conflict resolution process? What could you have done differently? Were there any moments where you felt particularly challenged, and how did you overcome them? Reflection is all about asking these tough questions and more. It's not about dwelling on the past, but using it as a springboard for future growth. But don't just stop at reflection. Take it a step further by applying what you've learned to future conflicts. Maybe you discovered that you need to work on your active listening skills, or perhaps your patience could use a little boost. Whatever it is, use these insights to improve your approach the next time around. Remember, every conflict presents an opportunity for learning and growth. So, don't shy away from these challenging moments. Embrace them, learn from them, and keep honing your skills. With every resolution, you're not just solving a problem, you're becoming a better problem solver. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Stoic Vogue for more content on Stoic philosophy and practical wisdom. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.